Hello, we are Aeris Korper. I am Mayumi, and this is.
Hi, I'm Lisa.
We run a contemporary dance company from Hamilton, Ontario. And yeah, we're here to chat about where we're at, some of our beginnings and our philosophies of movement.
Yeah. So we'll chat a little bit about our background and our education. Mayumi, you want to start?
Sure. So I grew up in Toronto, and I went through the usual studio cycles, and then I ended up at Ryerson in their performance dance BFA program. So it was a 4-year training program studying ballet, modern, and jazz primarily. And then from there, I've done different residencies and training programs, regular drop-in classes to keep active and connected to the community.
Awesome. Yeah, I started dance quite young, and in the studio, I really loved ballet, and I very much wanted to be a ballet dancer. I auditioned for the National Ballet of Canada when I was 11 years old, and I didn't get in. And then my mother asked them what studio they would recommend. So she sent me to another public, I guess it's private, ballet studio. And for me, I'm a petite person. I'm 5 feet, and I tend to be more muscular than traditional skinny for ballet. And that was a really big challenge for me, accepting my body. And it made me realize early on two things: that I feel very called to dance and be a dancer, and that the standard of ballet thing that I couldn't do. So it did force me to try and figure out, okay, well, how do I still do what I know I'm called to do and dance? And that's how I kind of landed in more of a contemporary vein. And I attended the York University dance program, where I learned Graham and Lamone. And so I took workshops from Graham teachers. And then in various places, I really loved it. And then more teachers came into the program who were teaching more hybrid and movement. And so doing a Gaga workshop in Brooklyn, New York at the Mark Morris Dance Studio was really impactful for me. And just realizing how I find contemporary dance and modern dance to be expressive and more inclusive than ballet was it was a lifesaver. So I still do ballet. I went on to do teacher training and pedagogy at NBS. And I love it. It is a useful tool and a beautiful art form, but it's definitely not the only dance art form.
And I think that's sort of what led us both to what we do now, and the philosophy that we work within is sort of how much dance as a structure has certain hierarchies and expectations that don't allow us to see that there's other possibilities outside of that. Like, I know I didn't want to be professional. I grew up dancing from like age 4 all the way to grade 12. And that whole time I was like, I can't make it as a professional dancer because my leg isn't at 180 degrees and I can't do 4 pirouettes. And those things to me were like the standard. If I can't do those, then I'm not a real dancer. And so hearing you talk about ballet and your history with that, like, I think that's something that we shared innately from the beginning, and have really worked with Aeris Korper to create structures that are more open and inviting to all bodies, all shapes, all sizes, all abilities.
Yeah, and I was going to, in that vein, Mayumi, which you've brought up, it doesn't mean we're not pursuing excellence. What we're interested in is like very visceral, authentic self-expression, powerful physicality, finding the beauty in the mundane, finding the subtleties of movement and gesture, but also the power in really big virtuosic movement. And it's not to say that we don't value a beautiful turn or a leg extension, but that the vocabulary of dance includes so much more than those things, and the bodies. Yeah, it's a really great. It's my favorite art form. That's why we're here.
We've said it before that we're totally dance nerds.
Yeah. And so before COVID hit, the COVID curtain came down, we had quite a lot of work. We were supposed to go to Spain and teach a movement workshop, which we were very excited about, of course. And we had a show of a remount of a work, Storm and Silence, at Theatre Aquarius, which is a larger theater in Hamilton.
We had a choreographic mentorship with Peggy Baker.
Mm-hmm.
Has been shifted in timing. A lot of the things that we had coming up have been shifted or altered to be online.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, when the COVID curtain first came down, it was kind of every day saying, oh, we're canceling, oh, we're not, it's not happening, we don't know what's happening, and nobody knows what's happening. And of course that was devastating, and taking the time to really like, can't believe. Because what we also recognize is that everything we do, every project we do has a ripple effect. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, even in this conversation today, it's our goal and intention that we will meet in the future. We have an intention beyond just this video that, you know, so for the show with Theatre Aquarius, for example, we're inviting presenters so we can remount the show elsewhere. So losing all those opportunities meant it's like, okay, so now what's going to happen in the future? We won't have those connecting gigs from the gigs that were supposed to happen. So, you know, there's so many amazing advocates for art in Hamilton, and Jeremy Freiberger of Cobalt Connects, you know, that kind of first week created an online performance platform for artists in Hamilton, which we were part of. And that first performance started to lead us into exploring how to do work on Zoom.
Mm-hmm. And now we've done so much work on Zoom. Lots of classes, which have allowed us the ability to teach internationally from our homes and perform internationally, and just connect with a wider audience. So that's been quite fulfilling. That pivoting has worked really well in our advantage for specifically in our education sector, I would say, but also in performance and choreography. Lisa led a really beautiful, amazing online residency that we were able to choreograph and perform all through Zoom with 5 dancers, I believe. So yeah, we've been keeping active and letting our creativity really flow in a sense, and even harder. Like that it's allowed us to consider new possibilities of how to connect, because so much of our work is about the deep human connection. Finding ways to keep that intimacy online has been really powerful and interesting, and something we probably wouldn't have done otherwise. So
yeah, and I think also within all of that, the coping of this time does include us to have days where we're off and when we're not feeling great, and assessing and communicating like what's not working and how do we continue to make sure we have the ability to continue. So it might mean that I sometimes say we over communicate. I don't really think that, but I know that we chat about our feelings and where we're at and discuss in detail more than perhaps other administrative meetings for dance companies. And I do think that helps us to assess where we're at so we can find the support we need to continue. Because if we just have this toxic fake positivity, it does deplete. I find it depletes us really quickly, and without seeking the help of, you know, we have therapists, we do read self-help books, we discuss self-help podcasts, we share resources like that, because those tools are so useful, and there's so many free ones online, and I think if you're not seeking help, I strongly encourage you to, because it is a very, very, very challenging time, and it's important that we acknowledge that, that our expectations are realistic in the face of COVID.
And I think one of the things that you're talking about in terms of giving emotion such weight, it allows us to, first of all, connect even deeper to each other. And second of all, like work through it in a smoother fashion, that by owning those feelings, I think we're able to empower ourselves to say exactly what we need and give ourselves what it is that we need. And that's incredibly challenging, to listen for those signals and then to actually follow through on them. So I think that's central to what we do as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, our chat's supposed to be 10 minutes. I'm not sure how long we've been chatting, and I know Mayumi and I could chat all day for hours on all of this. But I think it's also important to find and follow our inspiration. And the internet really is a beautiful resource. There's so many videos online, and even just Googling, inspiring dance, and then starting to see what comes up for you, what genres, what people, and also Instagram, follow hashtags that call to you, because inspiration cultivates an energy in the body that is life-giving. And if it's breakdancing you love, if it's tap dance, if it's whacking, if it's contemporary Batsheva, if it's Lamont, whatever it is that calls you forward, just ingest that, because it will lead to something that will support you.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are Aeris Korper. I'm Mayumi, and this is Lisa. And it's been great chatting about our journey to dance and how it is specifically during COVID. We hope that this insight and information helps inspire you to keep moving, and most of all, give yourself what you need.
Yeah, feel welcome to follow us at Aeris Korper, AERISKORPER on Instagram and Facebook, or shoot us an email, info@aeriskorper.com.
Take care.
Bye.
Welcome to our class. We are going to spend the next hour investigating and researching our bodies. We're going to use improvisation. We'll visit some more traditional dance movements and technical ideas. We are going to, hey Carmen, we're going to then spend the last half an hour collaboratively building choreography. And Mayumi and I are going to teach. We use this principle between one another, what we like to affectionately call a game, which is yes, let's. So perhaps Mayumi will suggest something, and I enthusiastically dive in with all my curiosity and inquisitiveness, and then that will then percolate to the next idea, which then I'll suggest, and we go back and forth in that manner, and we invite you to participate in the same way. Let's
I know, I'm just so excited. Let's do it.
Great. So find yourself in your space, and let's just find our nice, soft, big, juicy legs, big, soft, juicy feet. Feeling the big toe joints of each leg, the baby toe joints and heels. And then let's also add a sway in the upper torso, allowing the arms to trail. You can let your gaze travel the room like a gorgeous lighthouse, imagining the energy of your gaze shining out, emanating out your eye sockets.
And letting the breath fill the lungs. And perhaps be the thing that causes the shift. That the inhale changes the direction, And the exhale, as you further into it. Can you explore the irregularity of the shifting? Trying never to repeat the same pattern. Weight transfer, spinal action.
Let's start to travel through the space. So allowing our sways to become a shifting walk. And our steps will be very soft and gentle, like we're walking in a creek. As we let our feet settle to the ground, we're not disturbing the muck at the bottom of the creek. We're just walking very carefully and deliberately in this creek. Letting our imagination sense the temperature of the water on our legs. Feel the squishiness between our toes. And you can allow yourself to continue to sway and move in your spine and fingertips. Perhaps the water fills right up to the ceiling of your space. So you have this gorgeous, almost seaweed-like quality rippling through your body.
Also adding to the bottom of that step as it hits muddy surface, that it disappears. It's like your foot disappears and becomes part of the surface below you. There's no echo, you just become one with that gooey sensation of the sole of your foot.
You can feel the rooting of our feet as they slip down deeper into the ground. And we can play with allowing a hovering of one leg, letting that plumb line happen through standing and balancing and shifting on one leg.
And when you do have to define a place of anchoring to the one leg, you can let the limbs perhaps become like a mast, whipping in the wind around that rooted central structure. And can you let the wind whip through? Maybe surprise yourself. Oh, gorgeous.
And as we lose our balance, we can just let that happen. Just stepping into the next step. And our weight shifts will start to become quicker in the space. As we find that shift, sinking of the foot into the ground plumb line, and letting our limbs shift through.
Can you let that established grounding only happen for maybe a second or two? So almost in the same instance that you feel that established center, you're pulled right away from it within a second or two. Establishing and dissolving quickly. And it's the kind of thing that allows you to understand the rooting through your feet and the relationship to your pelvis to find a point of balance.
Let's start to root into the power of our gaze. So we have this plumb line, this connection through our legs and the relationship to the pelvis. And we could imagine our gaze as an anchoring line as well. So wherever it is that you see, can you imagine gorgeous tethering cords out into the space, supporting you, holding you? Great. And then we'll settle in place, finding a comfortable stance. Your legs can be slightly wider than hip width. And continue to explore our gaze, the focus that it has. Let's bring a hand in front of us and see it very clearly. And we can notice how the background becomes blurry. And then if we were to focus our eyes on the background, noticing how now our hand becomes blurry. And we can shift our gaze between the two, allowing our periphery to also be part of the information that we take in. Let's go back to moving, and you can now anchor it into a closer place with your body, letting the background be present but out of focus. Or you can shift your focus, letting the peripheral wide 360 space around you be in focus, and your limbs as they pass through your vision be out of focus. And just play with shifting between the two, and notice how that affects your movement.
You can also create a frame with another part of your body to gaze through. And again, test what it looks like through that frame. And then when you actually look at the frame itself of your body. So maybe it's creating a shape through your legs, understanding that negative space or that empty space between two parts of you, and then looking at the edge that you have created, that border between your body. Gaze through it, understand what you see through it, and maybe as your gaze becomes wider through certain places, you might become curious about your space behind it and move towards it to see and investigate what you saw through your frame. Become curious about where your gaze lands in your space. Perhaps this is a space that you've been in for a while now. How can you see it anew through that frame? And go visit those objects that you're gazing upon, where your gaze lands.
Let's begin to rub our hands together, starting to bring some heat and friction between them. Carrying the things that we've played with, keeping what interests you, letting go of what you're done with. And we'll bring this vigorous dry shower into the surface of our whole body, waking up our skin surface, letting it become more of a massage, or a drumming, or a slapping, playing with what feels good for you today. What invigorates and enlivens you. Finding the nooks and crannies of your hip sockets, your collarbones, behind your ears, under your nose, around your eyes, back of your neck, your lower back. Getting into behind your knees, the bottoms of your feet.
It feels like there's no detail too small to overlook in your skin, like it's all craving touch. wanting, that sensation, that, yeah, that's
And it's nice to take a heavy fingertips and drum into the cheekbones or the forehead, into the jaw. You can also massage in there, making a sad kind of like, oh, that release. Oh, that feels good.
I love adding sounds when we get into the face. Yeah. Like jaw opens and widens. Letting it be loose. Wide. Can you take the fingertips and drum all the way down the neck, across the chest, down into the belly. Next, give your belly a nice vigorous rub. Some warmth there. Nice. And then down into the creases of the hips. Yeah, really getting straight down in. Yeah, nice. Nice, good. And then outside of the legs. So these are patterns we're following, suggestions. Listen to where your body is at and what it needs as well. Good. And let's begin to sway in the upper body, letting the shoulder almost like it's touching one ball to the other. Nice. Try to isolate the upper spinal portion. Nice. And maybe letting that ripple all the way across. And if it feels good, you can also push with a hand as you transfer the weight. Maybe let the head drag behind. Yep. And a little bit more rigorous. Maybe the goal here is to get the heart rate a little bit higher. So what does it take to really get yourself moving here, to get your heart rate going? I also like to try to push with the elbow in this and get really low with the pelvis to the ground. Nice. And if you feel called to make the noises that your body is making, like Lisa just did, or maybe you want to vary the pattern, make it smaller, faster, like egg beaters. Nice. Shaking the arms, finding different rotations. Oh yeah. Let it be sporadic, let it be random. Let's push forward, getting the knees nice and bent, and then come up. Good. Almost like the wall in front of you is sponge. And you're pushing the front surface of your body into the sponge. Come up. Good. And if you feel called to make this, follow the shapes of ballet technique, like a plie. You're welcome to do that. If you'd like to just follow the impulse and the curves of your body as it is, then you stretch the knees and hips in a way that feels really nice. Let's do two more like that. Letting the other body fold forward too. And as much as there's a sponge pushing forward, there's a suction as you come back to the last one. Nice. Take your feet together. Treat yourself a nice little wiggle. Shake out. Ooh. Nice.
Let's imagine we're on the back of a truck on a very bumpy road, and we're really shaking and bumping along and letting this like bumpy road happen to us. It might turn into some little floppy, wiggly jumps. We're just letting this ride happen.
I think of like tap dancers and how loose the ankle has to be able to create such massive noise or sound. So can you almost feel like the looseness of that ankle, the tap on the bottom of the top shoe? Almost like you're drumming, that your body's drumming on surfaces around you. The light, loose, percussive. Yeah. Like your hip, the bottom of your hip drum, hit cymbals with your nose, maybe your ribs, and of course your arms, your limbs. The best percussive instruments possible.
And let's let that go. Feeling the sensations on your skin. There's a tingling.
Yeah, I feel that.
Let's find ourselves in a gentle turning out of the thighs. So letting our thighs rotate outwards from our hip sockets. And think of squeezing our legs together like a gorgeous mermaid tail. And taking some time to explore this very solid, connected place. Swaying, pressing our feet down into the earth, letting the energy come shooting up our torso, out our head, out our arms. And we will let ourselves continue to be soft in our body, being available to movement and exploring. And we're going to press our right foot so much into the ground it slides forward. And then we're going to let the thigh turn in, rotating the body. Letting it turn back out. We'll play with expanding and floating up. Let's play with bending and folding in. Play with expanding and reaching forward, and then shifting forward. Reaching out to one another, coming back, pressing forward, and we're going to press forward to push back to our standing leg, and then we can come back underneath that. So we'll go on the other side, pressing into the floor, sliding the leg forward, rotating, spiraling, rotating back, floating the limbs up, bending in, expanding out, shifting forward, shifting back, shifting forward so much, push, and return back to the leg, gorgeous, side, rotating, returning, expanding, folding, reaching, falling, shifting, shifting and press, returning back to the leg, reaching, spiraling, looking with your eyes, your gaze all the way around, scanning with our lighthouse gaze, floating, bending, falling, returning, expanding back, rotating in, rotating out, and lifting, holding, expanding back, shifting, 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 arrive, and close to go back, cool, rotating, rotating back, lifting, folding in, reaching back, shifting, shifting back, and closing. Returning to that mermaid tail, that sensation or your legs in one pant hole, squeezing together and a base.
This brings me back to that sensation of the masks that we were playing with earlier, that the arms were and the legs were really the sails that we were experimenting with, and the mast of that supporting leg was digging deep into the ground. And now we're exploring one solid rounding, one solid trunk. And the arms are like the sails of the wind, or maybe even branches of the tree. Nice.
I feel like it might be a nice place to explore realms before we dive into the choreography.
Yeah. So, realms of existence, it's a practice, indigenous practice, as I understand. And we're going to start facing the north. So, wherever you are in your space, if you happen to know which direction north is, you can face that direction. If you're not sure, you can take a second to consider where it may be and make a choice. Face your north for now. And north is our spiritual realm. So we're going to turn our feet back parallel. We're just going to take a second to close the eyes, ground down into the feet below you, and let the sole of the foot listen to the earth. The ground that we stand on is home to many millennia for us. Listen, past knowledge of the earth. Let your eyes closed, body still. Begin to tap into the sounds around you, identifying auditory information. Also take a second to use your tongue to scrub around the surfaces. If there's a gesture that you feel called to make to close your time north, do that now. And gently rotate yourself to face your east realm. Commencing. Ready? Start by fingertips, light drumming into the top of your head. Now that your sensations are in head, you hear, taste, smell, you see fingertips. Come down over the eyes, up the cheekbones. Down the neck. Let the hands feed across the heart. Get a little bit more vigorous. Exploration down the arms. Nice light slap. And let the weight transfer from foot to foot as you explore this platform again. As you shift, maybe getting a little bit of hop happening because you're testing against gravity. So let your feet try to leave the earth. Almost like the floor below you is hot and liquid, and you're just trying to get away from it. Understanding the physicality of your body, the way that you're always constantly fighting gravity. And again, try to get that heart rate a little bit faster. Go even harder just for 4 more seconds. For 3, for 2, and 1. Settle into the seat, place your hand on your heart, and listen to the heartbeat. Your physicality, the realm of existence, your physical body. Again, if there's a gesture, closing this realm, you'd like to make, do so now. And rotating towards south facing. This is our mental. We're going to begin by sweeping the hands, hovering them over your body. Sweep away any thoughts away from your head that may be circulating. Anything that's not serving you or that you're holding on to, sweep them away from the orbit of your mind. And then just sweeping them away from your body as well. Whatever things are orbiting your body, orbiting you, that are slowing down your mental space, that are taking away from your availability to this realm. Push those thoughts as far out and away as you can. Nodding them out the universe, far, far away. Finding, closing, movement, gesture, acknowledgement for your mental realm. Rotating the west when you feel ready. Our emotional space. Take your palms facing towards you, away from the beautiful curvature of your hands, and offer those palms out. Almost like you're offering them to a friend, reaching out to get a connection with others, to feel and empathize for what someone else may be feeling, to acknowledge your own emotion. Each time you place your hand in a new spot, picture someone else that you're connecting with. Hand, palm. Notice how long you stay with that person, that motion. This is the need to stay longer or shorter. Into our westward emotional realm. What emotions are you afraid to lean into, to share with someone? What's easy and inviting? Take 1 or 2 more seconds to cleanse your emotional exploration. Gesture, knowledge, final rotation back to right foot, bringing those 4 realms all together. Close this by taking your hands together, giving them a nice little rub. Bring your palms down to the earth below. Acknowledge the soil that supports us, the land that gives to us energy to take care of it the way it cares for us. Let the hands peel away and soften, sliding up your body, up towards your chest. Beautiful.
Let's begin to build some choreography. That was so beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to offer a movement, and I welcome you at home to find the thing that feels next to you. Mayumi and I are going to go back and forth. And this is a way to approach, one way to approach collaboration. So I'm going to think of inserting my right hand into like a magic doorknob that I'm going to rotate and open. And as I do that, I'm going to close my body to it. So I'm going to insert, rotate, shift. Insert, rotate, shift. Yeah.
So you're folding, your right arm is extended, and then you're folding your left shoulder in towards your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Cool. Insert and rotate. Yeah. And then from there, let's let the left arm curve forward, almost like you're about to peek through it. Let it curve up so that you can be seen under it, and then shoot it back behind you. Nice, yeah. That goes. Push. Come in. Step under. Reach. Yeah, or I guess release is maybe a better word for that. It's almost like somebody's got your elbow, lifting it up to the ceiling, and then they let it go and your arm swings out. Yeah. Bring that head. Push forward. Again. Nice. And it looks like you push your hips far enough to fall forward. Is that what you did?
Yeah, kind of like that. Let's do that.
Let's do it.
Shoot. Look under. Shoot. And step forward out of it. Yeah, nice.
And are you stepping forward with your right or your left?
I haven't decided. Why don't you decide?
Let's do it again and see what happens. There's something about that to me that's like waving goodbye almost.
Thanks. Step forward with our left then.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
Thanks.
Yep. Gorgeous. I'm gonna do it one more time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, some kind of step out turn.
Can you do that again, Mayumi?
Yes. Drop in, elbow up, out, step, turn. And I think that there's like a leaning into that hand to give it some spice. Yeah, there's it feels like a little like ostrich. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like just to keep the flow going, I have the desire to swing this leg around.
Cool. So here, and that's your left leg.
Yeah, that's the left leg swinging around.
Right. So let's take it from the top. Here we go. Push. Drop in. Elbow out. Slice out. Down. Ostrich. Left leg. Ooh. Did you keep? It looked like you kept the ostrich.
He did. I was
A
like,
leg.
what happens? It's just finding all the coordination. And freeze in ostrich pose.
Freeze in the ostrich pose. Do it. It once.
Yeah.
Woo. Yep. Yeah. Let's do it again. Pull it together.
That's right.
Yep.
I like that.
Yep.
Let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like just pause, insert the foot into the beautiful muck,
Yep.
and it's like your sternum and your ostrich hand poke forward and up. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Let's do it again.
All right. Yeah. I forgot. Like, what happens? There we go.
Little poke.
So, yeah. Great.
Mm. Oh no. Now I'm having that. All good. Keep going.
June. Poke.
Yeah.
I feel like a bump. Just like that.
Sorry,
Yeah.
do it again.
Yeah, so after we go poke up,
Yep.
I'm doing, I think one could say a jump, land.
Yeah.
Or wait, poke up. I think it should be a ball change more so that it's like left, right, and then jump back together. Nice. Yeah. That's great. Yeah, and I love the vigorous pull arms.
The arms.
Yeah, like you're throwing it down. So we go, yeah, should we start from the top?
Yes. Okay. Oh, you did like that. No, wait. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. It's funny how the internet changes things. I didn't do that, but I like that. So let's do that. Yeah. Like this. Yeah.
Ooh, and then I love that, like.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. From the top. Nice. Cool.
There's something about that waddle to me that's so, like, penguin-like.
Awesome. Let's why don't we go through it just like straight through twice,
Sure.
and then so we get a sense of like a feel of the flow. Okay. What happens after that?
I think what I did was I let the head sort of, like, swing me back.
Oh, I love that. So the head goes. Yeah. Cool. So the feeling you're kind of crossing your right leg behind your left.
Yeah.
And then your head pulls back, swings left, around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Got it.
Whew. That's funny. Yeah, me too.
So from there, what we're
Grab
doing.
some water for me. Water break. Window open? Okay.
Great.
There's something really beautiful about the head moving around. And I feel like as we come around, swinging up, and then swing. And then you can use your space wherever you are. And we can go, like, if we can go as far downstage as we can, go as far upstage as we can, go as far to one wall as we can, get all realms, and go as far to the other wall as we can.
And if I understand what you did, or can add on to what you did if it wasn't what I understood, you sort of wrapped arm and leg, and
Yeah.
that led you to the next side, and that wrapped across,
Yeah.
bring you back into your center.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
so from here, step, 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 step,
Beautiful.
roll the head, sweep across, swipe to the center.
I think, can we go, because I really like feeling that movement in the space. Can we go all the way to the other side and then back behind her? This way. Over here. Yeah. And then center. Sure. So, let's give it a whirl. Yeah, go. Swing. Around. Nice. Nice.
Oh, can we, on the last one, can we let it dive down?
Yeah.
To the ground?
Beautiful. I love that.
And I think that it depends on your space. If you need, I would suggest socks on a carpet if you don't have a slippery surface that I do, or I think that Lisa does as well.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. So I need a moment. Oh,
yeah. Are you at an angle or are you ending straight? Can't tell.
What's that?
Are you ending like straight on, or are you ending a little bit to the angle?
I wasn't being specific yet. I can be specific. What would you like?
All good. All good. I didn't know because I wasn't specific.
Yeah. I think the corner's nice.
Cool. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's go through it a couple times, friends.
Yeah. All right. Nice.
I think just for clarity's sake, when we come down to the floor, there's really several ways we could do that. There's the step down, twist, and come on. I came on my knees, but you could also take it, depending on your space, down to your Vamadou roll to land on your knees too. I don't know, because also what's available to me, I'm finding, is as I come down, I think maybe because my floor is slippery, putting my hands down and then rotating that way too is also an option.
However, it works best for you. I think it's great, especially because all of our space is very unique right now.
Let's go through it and allowing our voice to fill the space as well. Sometimes I call it like making transformer noises. If you know what transformers are. My son is really into Transformers, he's 10. But it's essentially just making sounds that animate your movement. Here we go. Great. Are there any thoughts or questions, Mayumi, or anything you want to investigate further?
I feel like the only other thing I would offer is as soon as you sit, we draw with one arm the first letter of your first name.
Ooh, nice.
And the other arm, the last letter of your first name.
Closing gesture.
Yeah. Whew, it's hard to do it like that.
Yeah. Let's say we're going to move through it 3 times, allowing whatever's curious to you or what you want to linger on happen. And we'll really think of the 3rd time as our final grand finale performance. And then we'll just spend a little bit of time to cool and stretch our body. Great. Here we go. Round 1.
So beautiful.
Yeah. Take a moment to think, okay, how do you want to shift this next round? What do you want to try maybe a little differently? Maybe you want to explore speed or level, use of your head and gaze. Here we go.
So juicy. I found myself playing off my space this time. So indulge in the differences, indulge in this performance, take all the time that you want, and add all the spices that you want in your seasoning.
Alright, yeah. Here we go. Love that.
Here we go.
Let's walk around our space, feeling how our feet and body feel now after all that beautiful creativity, research, and work.
Notice the sensations that may have shifted, maybe the thoughts that have circled out or circled in towards you. Notice where the mind, the body, the spirit, the emotion is now, where it's landed. Difference that 1 hour can make. Let's finish by raising our arms together, lowering them, and touching the earth below us.
Thank you so much for joining us. We're Aeris Korper. This is beautiful Mayumi. I'm beautiful Lisa. And have a beautiful rest of your day.
Hydrate, give yourself what you need. Sending you love.
We'll see you soon, I'm sure.
For sure. Take care.